Hi everyone, welcome to Computing for Data Analysis. I'm Roger Pang and I'll be an instructor for this course. I just wanted to welcome everyone to the course and talk a little bit about kind of what I'm expecting and what you'll be running into for the next couple of weeks. So this course, of course, is about R, and we're going to talk a lot about R, about the kind of programming language aspects and how to do a little bit of statistics and data analysis with it. But I want to talk a little bit about kind of statistical languages and packages in general. So in the world of data analysis and statistical analysis, there are a variety of different types of packages that you can use to analyze data and to look at data. And there are roughly three categories that these fall into. The first is kind of the classical command line interactive type of interface where you have a console type of window and you type a command and something happens and you hit enter and something happens, and then you type another command, you hit enter, and then something else happens. And so this type of interface is very common, and it's very useful for doing interactive data analysis, for exploring your data, for kind of visualizing things and looking at summaries and whatever it is. Another type of package is the kind of a programming language. So you can think of traditional programming languages like C or C++ or Perl or Python. And these are languages where, by and large, you write programs or scripts, and then you execute the script. And then if you want to make a change, you have to rewrite the program a little bit and then execute it again. Sometimes you have to compile the language. And so this is a little bit of a different model because you're not kind of working command by command. You're writing a whole series of commands or control structures to do some sort of analysis. And so it's a little bit different from doing something that's interactive because it's not as quick, it's not as kind of instantaneous. And then the third rough category of data analysis type software is the kind of graphical user interface, Microsoft Excel type of interface where you're kind of using the mouse or using the trackpad to click on things, and there's no real language or programming per se. So one of the things that makes R unique in this universe is that try to really kind of give you a hybrid of the command line interface and the programming language interface. And so some people are a little bit disoriented by this setup because if they come from the programming language type of background, they're expecting a programming language that's kind of like those other languages. And if you're coming from a command line interface type of background, like you use SAS or Stata or something like that, then you're kind of expecting a command line interface. And for each of those types of areas, R has something along those lines, but it's not always perfect. So because it has to kind of make a compromise between the two. So many people perceive this as having kind of the worst of both worlds, but I actually see this having the best of both worlds. So for people who are just starting out using R, you can do the command line, you can execute commands on the console, and things will happen. You'll make plots, you can make summaries. But then as your needs grow and as you kind of get more into the language, you might want to do something that the package doesn't offer, in which case you can write a program or you can write a script using the programming language that comes with R. And so the R programming language is quite robust. It's a very big language. There are lots of things that you can do with it. And that's what makes it so useful and so attractive to a lot of people who want to do new things. But one of the things that makes it different as a programming language is that it has to accommodate this need for doing kind of interactive work, interactive data analysis, command line driven types of things. And so there are a number of compromises that have to be made to the design of the language to accommodate that kind of activity. So I just want to make sure that people kind of understand what's happening here, and if they're frustrated initially with the language, that one of the reasons is that it's designed to kind of accommodate multiple types of users, and so it doesn't specialize with one type of person. And so there are going to be some compromises with the language and with the way it works, but I think ultimately the whole package is quite useful and very powerful. So I look forward to working with everyone in the class, and I'll see you soon.